Hello and welcome to my stream. How you doing? I hope you're well, I hope you're good. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever time of day or night it is, whenever you're watching this, I hope you're all well. Yes, my predictions for Starmer not going anywhere are still there. He's still there, Starmer. He's still there, isn't he? When I last looked just a few minutes ago, just to be sure, because you never know what's around the corner, do you? And it's just taking over all the news. All the news. It's like there's nothing else going on. They're supposed to be running this country, right? And all they're doing is internal fighting and resigning and shenanigans, which isn't good for this country. I mean, the country's in a bad way anyway, so this really isn't good. They need to get this. I don't think Starmer's going to go, but they need to sort this out one way or the other. And get on with, well, sort of running the country if they can do such a thing. Too many laughs? And as far as I'm aware, we've still got fuel, which is a surprise after all the stuff in Iran and everywhere else. We'll maybe get into that later if I've got time. Beth Gish is here, everyone. How you doing, Beth Gish? Good to see you in the live stream. Didn't mean to do that, but 2 cheers is good. Have 2 cheers on me. There you go. You're welcome. So what should we have a look at first? Well, the big news apparently. Well, it's probably not big news. It's just the news. What they want to make big, isn't it? So this is what's going on. Andy Burnham seeks to stand in by-election triggered by Labour MP. That's very interesting. So somehow people think, I don't know what people, but apparently people think that Andy Burnham is going to be the saviour of the Labour Party and of this country, perhaps. I mean, it'd be nice if that was the case, but I can't see it myself. Anyway, let's have a little look what it says. Andy Burnham has confirmed his intention to stand in the Macclesfield by-election following the resignation of Josh Simmons, the current Labour MP for Macclesfield, who stepped down to make way for Burnham. Gave up his job. Gave up a good job, didn't he? Why would you do that? To make way for Burnham? Why? He's got to win an election, yeah? How long is this all going to take? If there's going to be a by-election, how long is this all going to take? Simon stated his belief that urgent and radical reform is necessary and that the Mayor of Greater Manchester is the leader to drive this change. He criticised Westminster's managed decline of towns and the current political approach as insignificant. Simons acknowledged the personal difficulty of his decision, emphasising his commitment to political change. Burnham said he will be requesting the permission of Labour's NEC to stand in the by-election and aims to return to Parliament to address the cost of living crisis and make life more affordable across the UK. How's he going to do that? What is he, Harry Potter? Has he got some sort of a magic wand or something and he's going to just wave it and then everything's going to be righted? Oh dear. Officers on Labour's National Executive Committee, NEC, voted 8-1 in January to bar Burnham from standing in the Gordon and Denton by-election. So what's going to change then? If they've barred him once, well, it's also, what's the word? It's also unpredictable, and it's not good for anything to have a country that's in this much turmoil. And that's all that the Labour Party, to me, seem to have done. It's just, don't get me wrong, I'm not a Tory. I don't vote anyway on anything, on none of it. Who's that? 8100 Sam. Another prat. What, me? Probably me. Is that me? I shall just call you Sam. Sam is here, everyone. Good to see you, Sam. I don't know how you found this stream, but I'm glad you did. And we'll see if you hang around and stay for a chat. Feel free to chat. Call me a prat, whatever. I don't mind. I've got a thick skin. I don't care. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but names will never hurt me. That's how I was brought up. It's not like that anymore, is it? Well, these days, it's just not like that anymore. What happened? What went so wrong that like everybody's got hurty feelings and hurty words and, you know, over 12,000 arrests in this country, or in the UK, I should say rather, for people that post hurty words online. Why? What is? I mean, obviously, real dangerous threats. You know, you could sort of semi-take them serious, I guess, depending on the circumstances. But for people just to say things that they want to say, to get off their chest, politicians, I mean. Oh, thank you very much for that. I thought you was good. I thought, here we go. I've only been on 3 minutes, and somebody's already having a go. Fair play. Nice to see you anyway, Sam. Great stuff. So Andy Burnham. There's another article in the Liverpool Echo. We'll have a quick look at that while we're here. Labour MP to step down to allow Andy Burnham route back to Parliament. But is it going to be a route back to Parliament, though? Realistically, there's a lot to do, isn't there? We'll get into that in a bit as well, but I just want to carry on with this for a second, just to get a bit of a feel for it. A Labour MP, I know we know this, right? I know we know that, but I've got to fill the space. Do you know what I mean? I hate just doing this to fill the space, but obviously it's good to see what these journalists are saying, you know what I mean? A Labour MP has announced he is standing down to allow Andy Burnham a chance to return to Parliament. Macclesfield MP Josh Simmons has announced in a statement that he will step down to offer the Mayor of Greater Manchester a route back into the House of Commons. I know I've already done this. And the chance to run to replace Keir Starmer as Prime Minister. Keir Starmer ain't going anywhere. I'm telling you now. I said it from the beginning. He's not going anywhere. He is the Davos man. He is the World Economic Forum's man. He is the global power that is the real power. Is their puppet, their man, in my opinion. That's what it is. All of them. Mate, the Epstein files. Who's in the Epstein files, mate? Everyone! There you go. Not just me saying it. It is my unwavering belief. Oh, no, sorry. I've jumped the gun. Cool. I'm good at this. Don't worry. You're in safe hands here. Don't worry. You're in very safe hands. In a statement, is it Simons? Is it Simmons? Oh, anyway, I'll call him Simons. Mr. Simons was elected in the 2024 general election, said for decades Westminster has overseen the managed decline of towns like mine. Well, you're the MP there. Why haven't you done something about it? If you're the MP there, why haven't you fixed it? That's your job. We have talked big, then acted small, stuck in a politics of incremental. That's a big word for me. This is a big word for me. It's stuck in a politics of incrementalism. Okie doke. That cannot meet the moment. We have lost the trust of those our party was built to serve, the working classes. I don't think the Labour Party supported the working classes for forever. For a very, very long time. Do you know what I mean? Not for a massive amount of time. They're all millionaires, aren't they, anyway? I mean, how can you have these multi-millionaires? If they're not millionaires when they go in, they're certainly millionaires when they come out of the politics. This is generally all of them, isn't it? It's my unwavering belief that nothing short of urgent, radical, courageous reform, that's a bad choice of words, isn't it, will make a difference. All he's got to do now is say, we need to restore Britain. That's all he's got to say, isn't it, now? That must start with a change in leadership. Today, I am putting the people I represent and the country I love first, and will be resigning as MP for Macclesfield. Or Macclesfield? I don't know. I am standing aside so that Andy Burnham can return to his home, fight to re-enter Parliament, and if elected, drive the change our country is crying out for. Yeah, but they're crying out for. I don't think they're really crying out for it from Labour, though. Me personally, I don't sort of hear the cries for Labour to be the ones to do all this, if it's doable at all at this point. This has not been an easy decision. This is my family's home, where only a few weeks ago, doctors and nurses at Wigan Infirmary saved our newborn son's life, he added. But we all must make choices, and in recent days I found myself with a difficult one. Defend the status quo or step forward and act. I have made my choice. I am in politics. I'm in politics because politics is how you change lives for the better. Well, why haven't you done that where you live? Where you're the MP then? Why are you resigning? If you're any good as an MP, surely you should stand and fight for it, Not just hand it over for somebody who might not even get in. You're already in there. You could actually lose. In my judgment, right, it's not like I vote, I don't vote, right? And if it is legit, these votes, okay. But if it is legit, the chances are Reform are going to take it. That's the chances. Apparently, in the local elections, Reform battered Labour. It'll be a good test. It'll be a really good test. And the question I'm asking myself, will Restore Britain put a candidate forward? Now, I hope they do, because I think that would be very, very interesting to see how they perform. But whether they do that or not, I mean, I had a little chat. I know some people don't like AI. I like AI. I had a little chat with AI a little while ago, and I sort of asked AI what the odds were of Restore, putting somebody up to be an MP in this by-election. And it sort of said, it basically thinks that there might be they might sort of go with an independent that backs their sort of way of thinking. Droopy 10 is here, everyone. Not good to see Droopy. And I've done it again. See, I've read the chat, and I'm useless at this. Restore, right? They might put an independent up who's got their views, but I'd rather see them put somebody up, but just actually go for it. And Nazulium is also arrived. How you doing, Nazulium? Good to see you as well, mate. Anyway, defend the status quo or step forward and act. I have made my choice. I am in politics because politics... Oh, yeah, go on. My party has one last chance to do that. Deliver for the people and places I represent. Drive economic growth. They're taxing everybody to death. Everybody's getting taxed beyond belief. Secure our borders. Oh, my God. This guy, when he leaves the Labour Party now, right, or when he's left, I'm sure he's going to be a stand-up comedian, because that is funny. They're going to secure our borders, yeah. Reform, I like the way he uses reform again. Reform our state and politics and change a status quo that is not working. That is the fight. I believe Andy is the one to lead it. Earlier today, Health Secretary Wes Streeting resigned from Sir Keir Starmer's cabinet. The sausage man. The return of the sausages. The sausage man there, yeah. Oh, yeah. And Keir's cabinet, saying he had lost confidence in the Prime Minister. He's widely, not wildly. He's, shush. My stream, do what I want. It's my stream. If you can do any better, I'll watch yours. He is widely expected to launch a leadership bid himself. Mr. Streeting told the Prime Minister, it's now clear that you will not lead the Labour Party. Well, he is leading the Labour Party. He ain't going anywhere, mate. Adding, I am deeply saddened to be leaving government in this way. Mr. Burnham, who was first elected as the Mayor of Greater Manchester in 2017, is now expected to resign that position and formally announce his candidacy for the Makerfield seat. So if he resigns as that, are they going to have another thing there as well to see who's going to be the mayor? This is very dangerous, if you ask me. If these people have got nice little cushy numbers, and then they're going to start jiggling it all about because they think they can do something, especially when Reform are on the prowl and potentially Restore are on the prowl. I really want to see Restore go for this as well. If he does, winning the seat will not be an easy task. Mr. Simmons... or Simons, I don't know, currently holds a small majority of less than 6,000 votes. And in the recent local elections, Wigan Council, which covers part of the constituency, saw Reform dominate. I think that's what's going to happen. I think this is a bit of a gamble of gambles, to be fair. One, he's got to be allowed to do it. This Burnham guy, he's got to be allowed to be to stand, hasn't he? They've got these people that vote on you know, because that's how it is. It's not like a democracy. It's not like you go to the Labour voters who are paid membership and you get them the opportunity to vote. No, it's a committee. Who voted for that committee? Who put them there? How does that work? So all the people could like you and go, yeah, we want him to stand. Yeah, that one there, he's great, or she's great. And this little committee go, no, they don't meet our criteria. No, sorry. No, they're not on the list. They're not on the Davos. Davos has given us this pure... This is all speculation, by the way, obviously. And for entertainment purposes only. Yes, they've given us this list from Davos, the World Economic Forum and such. And no, that person... We've already got the people all lined up for the next 10 years. We know where we're going. I still say that, what's his name, David Lammy, will be the Prime Minister. That is a prediction. That is a prediction I am making. Macclesfield. Sam, thank you. I do appreciate that sort of comment. They are Maxonians. Okay. Macclesfield. It says Makersfield. Well, how are people supposed to learn English? Hey, £1 fish, very, very nice, very, very good. You know what I mean? How are you supposed to learn? I can't even speak the language. I was born here. Centuries of family being here. It's probably since the beginning. Who knows? No, I haven't taken a DNA test. God only knows. It'd come back and say retard. Oh, you're not allowed to say that, are you? 2 million laughs, guys. Another word you're not allowed to say. But I was saying it about myself. Not anybody else, just myself. Surely I'm allowed to call myself names. Or is that bad as well? I mean, how does this all work now? I just don't know. I don't know how it all moves so fast. It's like walking on quicksand everywhere, isn't it? It's really weird. Anyway, so what else we got? It's right. So this was the last bit of news I saw on this. You know, just for interest. Labour leadership contest effectively began today. Today is the day Labour leadership contest effectively started, even without either a vacancy or any declared contenders. Well, how's that at the start then? Who wrote this? We've had Angela Rayner's 6 a.m. announcement about settling her tax affairs. She's worth about £4 million now. She's worth about £4 million now. How do they do it? I want a job as an MP. I want a job. I don't want a job. I've got a couple of businesses. Just starting a new business, actually. Hopefully that goes really well, by the way. We'll see. Secretary. And shortly before 6 o'clock evening, Andy Burnham's statement that he wants to stand in the hang on, how'd you say it? Macclesfield. The Macclesfield by-election. Cheers, Sam. None of them have explicitly said they want to succeed Keir Starmer, but behind the scenes campaign teams are forming and Labour MPs are starting to decide who they fancy. Surely they don't fancy, what's her name? Where is she? Oh, God. It was there a minute ago. Even without fancy. We have Angela Rayner. Does anybody fancy Angela Rayner? I want David Lammy. If I want anybody to be the next Prime Minister of this country, I saw him in the King's Speech yesterday in that wig doing cultural appropriation, and I thought it was fantastic. He almost fell over, didn't he, when he gave the King, all that, right? Gave the King the thing to read. What a job. What's the King? If he has to sit there and be given a statement, And he just reads it. No questioning it. He just reads it. What's the point of all that money, pomp and ceremony and all the rest of it? All that expense? Why? If he's just going to sit there and read what somebody else has wrote. It's ridiculous in my opinion. Anyway, none of them have explicitly said who they fancy. It leaves the Prime Minister in an awkward position. He's not in an awkward... He's only got to... Look, he had 2 weeks he's got 2 weeks, right, in total to weather the storm, in my opinion. And he's going to do it. He's going to march through this. They're not coming at him. He's there. He's the man for the job. He's been placed there, and he's the perfect sort of guy to do all the bidding, like the digital ID, like 15-minute cities, like banning protests. What else? All the other agendas they've got. You know, facial recognition. We'll have a look at that. If I've got time at the end, we'll have a look at facial recognition, because that's going to be big. That's going to be massive, because they're rolling that out. It leaves what's going on? It's all changed. What happened there? Oh, Starmer and Streeting. What's the latest? Today has been the kind of day in Westminster where that happened on its own. I didn't even touch it. Technology, where recaps have had hastily rewritten and the rewritten again, and events twisted and turned. Health Secretary West Streeting resigned. All right, I'm not getting into all that again. I just did a bit on it, and I can't be bothered with it. So there you go. The interesting bit for me will be if. The most interesting of it all, I mean, it'd be sort of interesting to see who Reform put there, because obviously they're gonna go for it, and Farage has already said it, they're gonna really go for it, which they're obviously gonna do. But I want to see Restore Britain. I want to see the silent underdog. That's what I want to see. I want to see Restore Britain put somebody up, and see the reaction from the media. Because that's going to be fascinating. Because they go on about... I constantly see this thing, right, about the far right. The far right. Who are these far right?
The Führer couldn't have said it better himself.
Oh, that's what I'd have said, mate. But who are these? I mean, I have never seen, right, and I've been around a few years, I've never seen marches in the street where people are going, you know, we're far right, far right. It's all this far right stuff. Who? Could somebody please explain to me in the comments, who are the far right? Where are they? What do they do? Because I don't understand it. And they're calling Restore Britain. And now, if anybody would say that it's far right, I would say Restore Britain would be focused as, well, beyond the far right. They're probably right of far right, to be fair, but I don't necessarily disagree with the things they say. So does that make me far right? Am I far right? I don't know. I don't think so. It's just a point of view. It's just a point of view. We've all got a point of view. Why do they have to make it? Oh, of course, divide and conquer. That's the other plan from the great masters from above. The divide and conquer and rule, isn't it? You know, that's a great way of doing it. Anyway, moving on to some other madness from Labour, and this is total insanity. I don't know if you've seen this. Ed Miliband to lock in North Sea drilling ban by law. Willful destruction. He's going to ban it. He's going to ban North Sea. They're going to finish. We're going to have no energy security in this country. There's going to be nothing, absolutely nothing under this maniac, right? It's just like the lunatics are running the asylum, especially now the world we live in now with Iran and all these different refineries going up in flames. I think another one went up in Mexico, and another one somewhere else. I've got it somewhere, but if I get round to it, if we've got time, I'll show you. Labour is to introduce a legal ban on new oil and gas drilling in Britain, enshrining in legislation a prohibition that would make it far harder for any future government to reverse course on North Sea exploration. Now, I don't know how much you know about this, but we at the moment import most of our, I think it's the oil and potentially gas, I'm not sure, from Norway. And where do you think Norway get their oil and stuff from? You've got it, the North Sea. So rather than us get it from the North Sea, which we're entitled to do, right, and then make our bills cheaper, we're paying Norway to import it. So we're paying more money to them, which makes our bills higher. Where is the logic in that? Somebody please explain that to me. The measure will form part of the energy independence bill. There won't be no energy independence. We won't have any energy. One of the raft of new laws set out by the king. No, it's not a raft of laws set out by the king. It's a raft of laws that the king read on a bit of paper because that's what he has to do. It's nothing to do with Charles, King Charles. It's everything to do with the politicians and the people that run them, which certainly, in my opinion, isn't us. Oh God, law set out, read a statement by the King during the state opening of Parliament on Wednesday. It will convert Ed Miliband's existing temporary moratorium on new drilling into permanent legal ban. A permanent you cannot. It's against the law to drill in the North Sea. What is he doing?
What?
I know. It's mental. It's madness. And will also it will also prohibit onshore fracking. So, and another government who might want to change all this, because say we were in a situation where we were desperate for energy because of world problems, right? And we can't even get our own energy because we just can't, because of this idiot and the people that are behind him. What does the Energy Independence Bill say about North Sea drilling? A detailed briefing note issued by Ed Miliband's officials following the King's reading of the letter, right? Hang on, who's this? Droopy. Scorched earth policy, bankrupt Britain, Gaz. I absolutely agree with you there, Droopy. A detailed briefing issued by Ed Miliband's officials following the King's reading of whatever they gave him confirmed the bill would meet Labour's manifesto commitment not to issue new licences to explore new fields, including delivering the commitment to ban fracking. Fields that already hold licences will be unaffected by the ban and may continue pumping until their reserves run dry. However, the future of the Rosebank and Jackdaw fields, two of the most significant North Sea projects yet to receive approval, remains in doubt, with the Energy Secretary yet to give either the green light. Apparently, these energy companies as well, they get like a 70% tax. So the incentive for them to find new stuff for us is bad as well. Honestly, we're run by fools. Why is the North Sea drilling ban controversial? Well, because we need energy and it's a global problem, or it's going to be very soon by the looks of it. Critics have seized on the timing of the announcement. The Telegraph has reported, with the Iran war having cut off significant quantities of Middle Eastern fuel and sent energy markets into turmoil, senior figures from across the industry, among them the heads of British Gas and Octopus Energy, have called on the Energy Secretary to think again. Now, these are the experts. I know it's their business, but it's their business. These people are experts on energy. That's why they're there. What's Ed Miliband? A Labour politician. So, Enrique Cornejo of Offshore Energies UK warned that Britain needed to make the most of its entire domestic energy mix. He said, there's something for you, isn't it? Ding-a-ling-a-ling-ling. That was weird. UK warned that Britain needed to make the most of its entire domestic energy mix. He said, events in the Middle East are showing very clearly that the UK must reduce its reliance on energy imports. But the nation is set to depend on shipments from places like the USA and Qatar for half its gas by 2035. Tone Languinigan of the Tony Blair Institute added, As the Climate Change Committee makes clear, climate change. And what's that about? Oil and gas will remain part of the mix for decades. Maintaining domestic supply where it makes sense is vital to reducing exposure to volatile global markets. Why do politicians? What do politicians say about the North Sea ban? Claire Coutinho, the Shadow Energy Secretary, condemned the policy in the strongest terms, saying it would amount to a willful destruction of our domestic energy supplies and people's livelihoods. She added, "It's utterly shameful, and we Conservatives, they had years to sort this out. They had useless. We'll fight them every step of the way." Why didn't you make it so it was enshrined in law? So we would be. Why didn't you make it in the 14 years you were there? We had nuclear power. We had an abundance of good energy, cheap. Why didn't you do that? And now you're saying, "Oh, we're opposing Labour." It's ridiculous. It's a nonsense. All of them. I'm telling you. Richard Tice. Oh, I don't like him. Don't like him. He was all for the things, weren't he? He was all for them things. I never had none of that. He was all for that. I ain't had none of that. I'm not buying into any of that. We'll get into hantavirus. We'll get into hantavirus very soon. Hantavirus, you know that one? Yeah, we'll get into that in a bit. Reform UK's energy spokesman dismissed the plan as ludicrous. Mr. Miliband defended the approach, insisting that the rapid... I wonder what he's worth. I bet he's worth a few quid now. Ed Miliband, insisting that the rapid transition to renewable energy was the only way to bring down bills for good and take back control of our energy. No, all this green stuff, it's all subsidised, isn't it? Isn't it all subsidised? All these wind turbines, that you can't recycle them, right? Apparently, what it costs, the energy it takes to get them up and running, in their lifetime, they won't even generate that much energy. So the offshot outweighs what it took to put them in the first place. But they're all making money on it. They're all making money on it. Now to see here is here, everyone. I love that. Now to see here. It's got some great input. The train tracks have been laid. It doesn't matter who the driver is. Absolutely 100%. Absolutely 100%. I agree with that. And the only way to bring down bills. All right. Tessa Khan, executive director of Uplift, which campaigns against the fossil fuel industry, backed the government's position. She said, of course she does, spending tens of billions propping up a broken fossil fuel system. What do you mean broken? Is clearly not the answer, nor is more drilling when we know it won't lower bills, and the UK has already burned through most of its gas reserves. Really? I've heard of their experts, and not like you can trust any of these experts. Apparently, experts are like politicians. Just depends how much you can pay them to get the end result. Allegedly, right? Allegedly, YouTube AI monitor. All right. Tessa Khan. Oh, I did that bit, didn't I? Sure, shut up. Right, what do we got here? What else is in the energy independence bill? We ain't gonna have any energy independence. This is what I mean. It's like it's all inverted. All the things these people say, it's like they say one thing. Whatever they say, you might as well look at the inversion of it, because that's what they actually mean. Because it's not. There's no energy independence, is there? If you're stopping all the sources of energy, how have you got independence for it? Beyond the drilling ban, the legislation contains a series of further measures. Buy-to-let owners face new obligations to invest in upgrades to their properties. This is going to affect the housing market, and not necessarily in a good way, because a lot of these rentals now are going to be a lot of these people that make money by being landlords and stuff. The chances are they're going to get out of this now, sell their properties. And then them properties are going to be bought, and so there's going to be less housing stock for rent. And we've got such a massive problem with illegal and legal immigration and the population in general. It's just insane. It's insane. How can it carry on like this? And the prices, how are young people? I mean, I can't buy an house. Unless the next thing I do makes a fortune. But how are young people supposed to get on the housing ladder and all that? And why? How are they supposed to suddenly go, oh, I'm really incentivised to work hard and you know, do all the things? Because it's all a lie. All lies.
Houston, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
All lies. All lies. It's all lies. All lies. Everything's a lie.
Can't agree with me there more, mate. Right, anyway, the future of legislation is certain. Hang on. The bill... Oh, did I get to that? Oh, no. I need a thing where I can see where I've left off reading. Don't I, really? To do this more professionally. Somebody said to me in a comment on one of my other videos, right? Somebody said, basically, you should do a bit more research into what you're talking about if you want to look more professional. I'm not a professional. I do this as a hobby. This is just for fun for me. I don't care, really. I mean, I'm just talking about stuff because I like doing this stuff. I like it when you lot chat, although you're not doing it very much at the minute, but I do like it when there's the interaction. But I just enjoy myself doing it. It's my hobby. You got to have a hobby, you know what I mean? When I was young, I used to go weight training every day and do boxing and all sorts of different bits and bobs. But mainly, I used to do natural bodybuilding back in the day when I was a youngster. And that was my hobby, and I enjoyed it very much. But these days, one, I haven't got the funds to do it. I haven't got the time to do it. And I haven't got the inclination to go through all that pain again, because it literally is very painful. Anyway... I'm too old. My body I mean, I'd like to go back to the gym and just lightly train and enjoy it, and the sauna and the steam room and all that. And hopefully, please God, one of my businesses or all of them start doing something. You know what I mean? The business I'm working on at the minute, for your information, right? If it works, it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic if it works. Now to see here, for the good of the country, has got to be the most duplicitous statement ever. For the good of it's not for the good of the country, is it? It's for the good of them. It's for the good of them and their masters. Definitely, now to see here is definitely one of us. Absolutely, 100% one of us. I love it. Brilliant. Where was I with this anyway? Buy-to-let owners face new obligations to invest in upgrades to their properties. And a freshly created Warm Homes Agency. A freshly created Warm Homes Agency. See, they spunk more money. More of our money. Will take charge of a £15 billion drive to electrify homes and provide energy assistance to the most vulnerable households. The bill will also remove charges currently levied on households that export surplus power to the grid, for example, through rooftop solar panels. So they get charged. So if you've got solar on your house and you put power back into the grid, you get charged for that, do you? What? How does that work? The future of the legislation is uncertain. Of course it is. Of course it is. It's just... Sir Keir Starmer.
The return of the sausages.
Sir Keir Starmer is fighting to preserve his premiership amid growing pressure from within the Labour, and the bill's passage cannot be guaranteed. That said, Mr Miliband is widely tipped to throw his hat into the ring should a leadership contest material. Can you imagine Ed Miliband being the Prime Minister? Can you imagine that? Good God, it'd be horrendous. Fiat currency ain't money, only gold is currency. Correct, now to see here. Correct, they just print money. It's all a lie.
All lies. All lies. It's all lies. All lies. Everything's a lie. All lies. All lies. Nothing is true. It's all lies. It's all lies. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's all lies, people. It's all lies.
So lies. Throw his hat into materialise, and were he to win, the ban would almost certainly remain a cornerstone of his programme. Why? How have we got into? How is this? I mean, this has took years to make this madness mess, isn't it? Years, and all these politicians and the ones before them and the ones that come after them, nothing changes. It doesn't get any better, does it? It doesn't get it. When they say protect the borders, I mean, that is just such a fucking joke, isn't it? My God. See, you don't see that on the news at the minute, do you? Because all this, see, this is brilliant for them. All this smoke around Starmer and Miliband and by-elections and all this and council, it's so much smoke. There's stuff going on behind the scenes we've got no idea about. Now, I do genuinely have a little look, but you're not going to see anything really, are you? I do see bits in the darker places that I look because I've got Telegram. If you haven't got the Telegram app, I suggest you get it. You can see a lot of things on Telegram that you wouldn't generally see anywhere else. But a lot of those things, when I was on the other streaming platform, I could delve into those things. But that was the darker side, you know what I mean? On YouTube, I don't think it'd go down so well, unfortunately. You know what I mean? I know, it would be better, but I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it. What else is in the energy independence bill? I did it. Gas, you did that bit. What are you doing? So, where are we? Well, hantavirus. Do you remember hantavirus? Yes, it's nothing to do with the Illuminati at all, and the signals and the signage of them. No, hantavirus. This was funny. I found this hilarious, actually. I've never heard of this before. Have you seen anything like this before? British paratroopers lead airdrop onto Tristan da Cunha for suspected hantavirus case. Let me just read that again, right? Because I've got to make sure I read that correctly, because this will be the third time I've read it. British paratroopers lead airdrop onto Tristan da Cunha for suspected hantavirus case. 33, mate. Yeah, see, look, now to see here. He knows. That's now to see here. Absolutely, he's on it, on the ball. So there's a quick video here. Let's have a look at the quick video, shall we? Okay. So they're parachuted out of the plane. There's a box gone first, by the looks of it. And there's a plane, which you jump out. I've done a parachute jump, by the way. Terrifying it was. Terrifying. I'm scared. I don't like heights. I don't like heights. A picture of a big plane and a big picture of a big plane. Nothing really of any interest there, is there? So we'll stop that. Anyway, Madrid, May the 10th, Reuters. British paratroopers have dropped onto Britain's most remote overseas territory, Tristan da Cunha. Did you know there was a British territory there called that? I didn't. Along with medics and medical supplies. Parachuted in medics. After a case of suspected... What? You what?
What?
Yeah, a case of suspected hantavirus was confirmed there. A case of suspected hantavirus was confirmed. It was a confirmed suspected case. What? What? You what? Oh. A team of 6. You'll like that one, won't you now? Now to see here. A team of 6 paratroopers and 2 military clinicians from 16th Air Assault Brigade jumped from an RAF A400M transport aircraft that flew 6,788 kilometres, 4,280 miles, from RAF Bryce Norton Air Base in Oxfordshire to Ascension Island, then another 3,000 kilometres due south to Tristan da Cunha. I don't know, I've never heard of it. Dropped alongside them on Saturday were oxygen supplies and other medical aid. How much did this cost? Is there not a doctor there? Have they not got a little hospital? What do they do if somebody gets an ingrowing toenail? They parachute in a chiropodist. I don't know how it all works. I don't know how it all carries on. Dropped alongside on Saturday, supplies and other medical aid. The A400M was refueled mid-flight by a supporting RAF Voyager. The operation is the first time the UK military has deployed medical personnel to provide humanitarian support via a parachute jump. The Ministry of Defence said in a statement. Somebody's got a cold. We're on an island. We don't seem to have any. Can you send the military parachuting in? God, it's unbelievable. The supplies were primarily destined for a British man who UK health authorities say was a passenger on the cruise ship. He was a passenger on the cruise ship. Of course he was. Yes. Bill Gates will sort it out. Don't worry. Probably now to see here. The supply. Where did I get to? On the cruise ship that was hit by hantavirus outbreak and which docked at the island between April the 13th and the 15th. The WHO said the man reported symptoms compatible with hantavirus on April the 28th, and that is stable and in isolation. Now, isn't the hantavirus symptoms like having a cold or the flu? So when the people got cold or flus before, why weren't they parachuting in medical assistance then? What? How does that work? With oxygen supplies on the island at a critical level, an airdrop with medical personnel was the only method of getting vital care to the patient in time. Can you imagine it? You know what I mean? They don't even pay for an air ambulance, do they? They have to be, they're charity driven, aren't they, these air ambulances? But they'll pay for a guy who's got the sniffles to parachute in. All that. How much did that cost? Medical, if it happened at all, speculation, just saying. I don't know, I weren't there. Was the only method of getting care out of the Ministry of Defence. Tristan da Cunha, home to only around 200 people, is halfway between South Africa and South America. It is the world's remotest inhabited island, more than 2,400 kilometres and 6-day boat ride from St Helena, its nearest inhabited neighbour. It usually relies on a medical team of two people for its health needs, and is normally only accessible by boat, as it has no airstrip. So how have they been coping for the last 100 years? How have they coped with, how do they cope with other illnesses? What happens if somebody breaks their leg? You know what I mean? Falls out of a tree getting a coconut or something. You know what I mean? I should imagine that's what they do there. Polymers chain reaction, PCR. Well, we all know about the PCR, don't we? Can't really get into that on here. But apparently, maybe one bit I can say is the guy who invented it was called Kerry Mullis. And he said, he invented it and he won the Nobel Prize. And he said it isn't a diagnostic tool for disease. That's what he said. Now, I don't know if they've changed it since then. But from what I've seen and what I've researched over the few years that loads of weird things were going on, it's not really. Apparently, another thing he said, if you use it in a certain way, you can find anything in anyone. That's weird. Ideal, though, for their purposes, if you ask me. But, of course, what do I know? This is not medical advice. I'm not giving anybody medical advice. If you feel that you're coming down with the hantavirus, I suggest you seek medical attention and maybe they'll parachute the SAS into your house. Too many laughs, Gas. Anyway. paratroopers tests were previously delivered by military plane on May the 7th to Ascension Island, where another British man from the cruise ship had disembarked before being medically evacuated to South Africa. The arrival of paratroopers, medical personnel and medical supplies from the sky has hopefully reassured the people of Tristan da Cunha, said Brigadier Ed Cartwright, officer commanding 16th Air Assault Brigade. Yes, so that's what they do now. They parachute the military in to give you oxygen, or or to say, I don't know, pack a lemsip or something. I don't know what they do. I don't know. How would I know? How would I know if it is even real? Anyway, we're going to get into something now. Have I got time for this? Yes, I've got time. AI, facial recognition. I think this is going to be a major problem going forward, me personally. I have got a technique, right, it's a video I made the other day. I've got my own technique for getting out of AI. Because when they I'm going to use this, don't get me wrong, I'm going to use this. When they bring AI into everywhere, and I have to go out amongst these places, and it says there's a sign that says AI, I'm going to put this on. Right? And this looks like this. So as AI is becoming more advanced, and it's going to be in the cameras everywhere, and facial recognition is going to be a thing that we need to start to potentially worry about. Well, if you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to fear, I hear you say. Well, I don't like my privacy being intruded into. So maybe we'll talk about how to get around that next week. And next week has arrived. Yay! So we can talk about it, because next week has arrived. Yeah, that's that. That cost me about £3.50 off eBay. Right? Look at that. And you can see through it and breathe through it and everything, right? But that then is going to combat any nonsense with facial recognition. Now, I'll be interested to see what happens when I actually, because I will do it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I will absolutely, 100%, I'll be wearing a hat and I will have that on, and that is it. That will be in my pocket. And as soon as I see a sign that says facial recognition, straight on. Don't care. I've not got them the permission, give them the permission. I think everybody should do it. I wish I had 10,000 million followers who were watching this, and everybody started to do that, mate, because it's not right. They're encroaching again on our liberty, our freedoms. These people are supposed, and you could say, oh, but it protects us, right? Protects us from what? All these people, they're just unvetted, that they're just letting into this country and putting them up at our expense, costing over 10 million a day just on the rent alone. What, the way they're protecting us from that, you mean? So come on, get with the program. No, this isn't for our benefit. This is for the AI control structure that they're bringing in. The digital gulag that we're eventually, I mean, I'm quite old. Eventually I'll be gone. It won't be long, I'll be gone. And that'll be the end of it. I'll be on to the next thing, whatever the next thing is. But these young people, they're going to be brought up in this. And if they've had them things there as well, who knows what that was? Who knows what was in that, really? Because it weren't for anything that they said it was for, because in my opinion, that weren't a thing anyway. And I was out and about, willy-nilly, everywhere, thousands of people, nothing, no face, nothing, none of that, no. I never got any problem. I had no problems, I'm still here. So no, you can't tell me. I went out trying to get it to see, to prove. And nothing happened. So I'm living proof of that. You know, you can't argue that, can you, really? You can't. I'm here. I'm fine. Well, fine. Anyway, let's have a look at this. Essex Police pauses use of live facial recognition cameras due to racial bias concerns. Due to what? Due to racial bias concern. Yeah. Due to racial bias concerns. How's that work then? What's going on with that? All right, mate, you can go now. No, that's it, mate. So what is it? Essex Police has paused the use of live facial recognition cameras after a study found that they identified more black people than other ethnic groups. Too many laughs. Too many. The cameras are mounted on vans and designed to identify people on watch lists if they pass by. 13 forces were using it by the end of last year, and the Home Secretary said in January that the number of LFR vans would increase from 10 to 50. These will be on these posts if they're not already. They'll have cameras fixed. It'll be track, trace, logged, everything. I haven't got into it yet. Palantir, is it called Palantir? They've just took all the NHS records. Nobody's given. They've just got everything. Palantir. Maybe I'll get into that next week. Probably get into that a bit next week. 13 forces were using. Oh yeah, I did that. However, Essex Police said it had paused the use of LFR after potential bias in the positive identification rate, although it now believes the issue has been corrected by updating the algorithm. Nearly 200 people were recruited by University Cambridge researchers to test LFR during one of the force's deployments. They found it correctly identified around half of those on the watch list, and that it was extremely rare, yeah, invert it, for someone to be flagged up if they weren't on the list. But the study found it was statistically significantly more likely to correctly identify black people than other ethnicities. It also is more likely to spot men rather than women. Now to see here, the Didos got the I'm not sure. You'd have to rephrase it. I think I know what you mean. Yeah, the Didos got too many arrests. Yeah, them lot. We'll call them Dittos then, that'll do. Researchers said it raised questions about fairness that require continued monitoring. It's not fair. My mum used to say, I used to say that to my mum when I was a kid, it's not fair. And she used to say to me, nor's a black man. Too many laughs, guys. You do too many laughs, right? You just do too many. I know. Researchers said it raised questions about fairness and required continued monitoring. Essex Police told Sky News the study was one of two it commissioned, and the second suggested no bias, but that it had paused deployments to work with the algorithm software provider to update the system. It said further academic assessment had been done, and it believed the system was ready to hit the streets again. We have revised our policies and procedures and are now confident that we can start deploying this important technology as part of our policing operations to trace and arrest wanted criminals, said the statement. We will continue to monitor all results to ensure there is no risk of bias against the blah, 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 blah. Right, so there's that, right, because I'm running out of time, so I've got to do this next bit quite quickly. But then I sort of come across this article, right? This is when people say, look, if you've got nothing to fear, you've got nothing to hide, right? This is in Americano land. This is in Tennessee. Have a look at what happened over there. Police use AI facial recognition to arrest a Tennessee woman for crimes committed in a state she says she never visited. In a state she said she never visited, right? And that's not the worst of it. That is not the worst of it. A Tennessee grandmother spent more than 5 months in jail after police used an AI facial recognition tool to link her to crimes committed in North Dakota, a state she says she's never even been to before. So if you've got nothing to worry about, nothing to fear, imagine if you got arrested accidentally because fucking AI and facial recognition said you was somebody else, and you do any sort of time in jail, right? Until they work it out. What about your job? What about your bills? What about your family? What about your friends? What about your reputation? What about all these things? Are they going to compensate you for that? I doubt it. It's very risky. I don't care. And all this digital ID, your information, everybody knows that nothing online is safe. Nothing. Nothing. And they want to make all of our information in a cloud somewhere, on a server somewhere. It's all hackable. Super AI will hack anything when it's in place, if it's not already in place. Anyway, that's me. I'm done. No, I'm not. I've got another 2 minutes. All right, shush. Police in Fargo, North Dakota, have acknowledged a few errors in the case and pledged changes in their operations, but stopped short of issuing a direct apology. They didn't even apologise. Angela Lips, 50, was first arrested in Tennessee on July the 14th, according to a statement from the Fargo Police Department and a verified GoFundMe for Lips. Unbeknownst to Lips, a warrant had been issued for her arrest weeks earlier in Fargo, over 1,000 miles away from her Tennessee home. Months before, several instances of bank fraud had occurred in and around Fargo, according to police. In their search for a suspect in the bank fraud cases, investigators used our partner agency's facial recognition technology, as well as additional investigative steps independent of AI to assist in identification before submitting the report to the Cass County State Attorney's Office. Fargo Police Department Chief Dave Zibolski told CNN in an email that Zibolski said on Tuesday news conference that is the police department's reliance on some of the information from the neighbouring agency's AI system is part of the issue. Referring to errors made in Lips' case. At some point, our partner agency over at West Fargo purchased their own AI facial recognition system that we were not aware of at the executive level, and we would not have allowed that to be used, and it has since been prohibited, he said. And obviously on it goes. But that's the danger of it. You only have to be... a computer says no, and you're done. That's it. How are you going to prove otherwise? And with all that's the other thing as well. How come going forward with all the AI and, how you can do a thing of yourself in AI, and these AI avatars and these generated videos all look real. And it's only going to get better and better the bigger AI gets and the more advanced it gets, which is rapid. You ain't going to be able to believe nothing. It's a mess. And we've got really incompetent people running everything. It's not a good outlook, is it? Anyway, that's me for this week. Thank you for watching my live streams. Thank you for being here. If you've liked it, please do go and press the like. If you leave a comment, that would be great. Not many people get to see not many people see my videos anyway, and they definitely don't see my lives. So if you can share it, or if you like it, that'd be great. I only do it, it's my hobby. But that would help it, it's a nice little thing. Have a great week, the rest of your week. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you. I will probably make a video over the weekend, a video. Won't be very good. It won't be professional, because I'm not a professional. It'll be along the lines of, is there a balance between work and your own life? Is there a balance these days? That's a little video I want to do, because I keep seeing these videos of these people, these young people, younger people, that are struggling because all they're doing is working. And I've got experience of that, and I'm going to get into it in that little video. But I want to find out, is there a work balance, a work and life balance anymore? Or is it just work, pay? I don't know, probably. Anyway.